Welcome back to Body Transformation by Lee. I finally got a few answers about what was going on with my feet these past few months. I got posterior tibial tendonitis. I have plantar fasciitis. Somewhere along the way, probably 15-20 years ago, I broke my right toe, and it's healed over and it's fine. It's just whenever my foot swells up, it gets to hurting, because that's just what it does when it swells, apparently. And basically, the only thing I can do is I got me some real good inserts. They're real sturdy. They're real stiff. Well, let me take them off, check them out real quick. Let me see. They are called Power Step. And you can get them on Amazon. That's where my doctor told me to go get them. I'm just taking my shoes off, doing all kinds of stuff, checking my inserts, and you know, I don't know. Maybe some of you might have something wrong with their feet, and like I said, just get the Power Step. It's on Amazon. It's roughly $40, maybe a little bit more, depending on what your shoe size is. Mine's a 13, so it costs more than someone that might have a size 7. I mean, you know, it's more stuff, but it's a lot better than what you might find in the stores. I mean, I don't want to knock any brands. They might be mad at me, but you know what you see in the stores. And basically, what the doctor told me, you can push in on them, and if they're soft and they can be pushed in, they're doing your foot no good. Doesn't matter how much they cost, they're doing no good. And these that I've got, they're very, I don't know, how would you say, very rigid. They're very, the mold is in place, it won't move. It gives just a little, like as I'm walking, which goes with the name Power Step, where it would go down and come up just a little bit. But it keeps that form, and it's really stiff. And I've been wearing them for a little over a week now, and I can tell a big difference in how everything feels. And maybe one of y'all have something wrong with like that. You don't know what's up with your feet, and there's really nothing to fix it besides, you know, getting insoles. Perhaps you was like me. I got up, you know, one time in my life I was 400 pounds or more, and then this past time I was at 376, you know, on September 3rd, 2022, and now I'm down to 295. Sort of leveled out with the weight loss, and I'm like a half a pound here, a half a pound there, but it's still going in the right direction. But what I was saying about the weight, if you were ever really heavy, let's say, you know, you could have been 100 pounds overweight, or, you know, me, where I was almost 200 pounds overweight. And so you got all that weight, and depending on how long that you had to do it, it was just, you know, your foot was pressing down, flattening out. I mean, I've always had to have wider shoes, but I mean, it got to where, you know, my foot, maybe I could have went to a 14, but I stayed to a 13 and had the extra wide. But I guess it just came to a point where I needed to have that insert on top of it, because my foot had, I guess, flattened over time with the weight, and now I'm losing weight, and all of a sudden all these aches and pains started happening. But I am getting older. You know, I'm not a 20-year-old anymore, so yeah, I know you had parents or grandparents just said, oh, you just wait till you get older, just wait. And it is weird. It's like, you know, whenever I would get hurt, I swear, if it was in a game, I'd just get taped up and I'd be right back out in the game. Now, if I twist my ankle or something like that, it takes 2 weeks for me to get healed up. You know, I mean, I'll still get out there and I'll still move around. I'll still come to work, but it's just a little different on how long it takes you to heal. And eating good food, you got to eat good food, you know, and it'll help you heal as well. But like I said, I sort of plateaued on my weight loss. I've lost 81 pounds, and I still probably need to lose another 60 to 70 pounds. I'd like to lose more if I could, who knows. But, you know, if I could get to the 220s or 230s, that feels pretty comfortable for me at my height. And I'm 6'3" and a half. If you put shoes on, I'm 6'4", 6'4" and a half, you know, that little extra. But, you know, everybody likes to be a little taller, right? That way that body mass index will work for you better. But I think I should not count that inch or so with my shoes whenever I'm figuring in stuff, you know. I'm not playing football or basketball anymore, so they don't need to add that extra inch, you know, to, you know, some sort of intimidation or something, whatever they used to do, you know, to where you would seem bigger than what you really were. But now that I got those insoles, hoping that fixes it, because if you've been following any of my videos, I know you're sick and tired of hearing about my feet, I'm sure, and my, you know, going through the injury and dealing with it. But it was awesome that I finally got a podiatrist that knew what the heck they were talking about and was able to explain stuff to me. Because I was getting a little upset. I don't know if you've ever gotten upset at a doctor before, but, you know, the doctor that I did have, for whatever reason, they're not with that, you know, with that group anymore. And so I got to see one of the senior people in the group, you know. So the other doctor was like, interesting, you know, that type of stuff. Well, let's see what happens. And it was getting frustrating. You know, and I told him, I don't want another x-ray. My foot's not broken. I know it's not broken. Look at the x-rays. And then they did. And of course, and that's when I found out that my toe had been broken many, many moons ago. I mean, maybe 15, 20 years ago. Maybe even longer than that. And it's just one of those things when it swells up, or I guess if the humidity is just right. I don't know. I probably got arthritis in it as well, but it really hasn't bugged me as much until my feet started hurting. And besides that, I mean, I talked to my work. I'm sort of cutting back on how hard I drive, how hard I run out here over the road. More home time. Like last week, I was home, of the 7 days, I was home 6 of the days. So I didn't sleep in my bed one time, and that's driving a truck. That's odd, you know. So, but that's a good change. This week I did start out. I'm going on a longer trip, but I got to go to church, and then after church, you know, I got ready and left out. And that's another thing I was telling them. I would like to be able to go to church more often, and I'm at a point in my life where I don't have to chase after money. I don't have to have it. You know, everything I have it's paid for. So I mean, I just got to come up with money to have food for my family, electricity, I guess, get everybody's cell phones, cable, whatever, you know, just the little luxury things. And I'll save for little projects for the house. I'll save, and if my wife needs another car, I'll just save and pay cash for it. Like I said in my other videos, that's sort of what got me in my weight loss journey, is because I was almost getting all my finances in order, and now I pretty much do. It's just gonna have to figure out, what are we gonna do first? Are we gonna go on a trip first, or are we gonna fix up a bathroom? It doesn't matter. Your house, you can always repair anything on your house. I mean, that's watching DIY Network or HGTV. That's almost the worst thing in the world, because you can say, oh man, that looks awesome. Crap. Now I think I need to fix that. And there has to come a point in your life where you're content, and enough's enough. You're happy with it. If it is something that you need, or something that maybe you'd really want, okay, save for it and get it fixed. Just don't go into debt for it. I mean, that's the one thing I'm trying not to do. And if anybody talks to me, I'll tell them about Dave Ramsey, and get on his program. He's got YouTube channel. He's on the radio. He's on any media format you can find him. All you gotta do is put in his name, Dave Ramsey, or The Ramsey Show, and you'll be able to find him. And you have all these people, trolls or haters or whatever, and they love to hate Dave Ramsey because they're smarter. They know, oh no, well, you need to do it this way, and it's the same thing like with the weight loss and getting in shape. Okay, Dave Ramsey way, basically, you got an emergency fund, you pay off your bills, then you make your emergency fund bigger, and you put back for retirement, and then if you got kids, then you start putting back for their school, and then if you want vacations, repairs for the house, different things like that, you plan that in. You start paying off the house. Once you got your house paid for, everything opens up. I mean, think about it. If you don't have a house payment and you don't have car payment, how much money is that? But like I said, everybody loves to hate on Dave Ramsey. And they're like, oh, it's too simple what he says. Because basically, it's what's in your head. You're the person. You can, I'll out-earn my stupidity, right? I'll just get a job and I'll make so much money it doesn't matter. And people, and that's sort of the same thing like with weight loss. They're like, oh, it has to be more than just eating good and exercise. No, I hate to burst your bubble. It's that simple. Don't eat crap. Eat good food. Get off your butt. Walk around the neighborhood if nothing else. Go to the gym. Do resistance training. Use weights. Everybody wants to reinvent something, and we got to make it better. But if it works, do it. Now, as you're going through the journey, something that might work for me might not work for you. But see, the main thing is you have to learn your body. Maybe you're okay with breads, but I'm not so good with breads. I don't do so good. I swell up. I retain water whenever I eat too much bread. Maybe you're good with milk products. I'm not. I get bloated. I get gassy. All that disgusting stuff. I know you don't want to hear about that, but that's the reason I can't have dairy. But maybe you can. But most people, once you reach a certain age, dairy is really hard on you. So you got to cut it out. And like, okay, an old bodybuilding diet, whenever I was a lot leaner, it works on me. It works on a lot of people. If you eat fish and then you have vegetables, you're going to lose weight. Fish and vegetables. You're going to lose weight. And then after a little while, you just tweak it a little bit. Then you add chicken breast, and you might add a sweet potato or rice or quinoa, and then you'll have higher calories. But it's just in and out, and you switch stuff, and then you might actually be able to get a steak or something if you like steak, and eat your asparagus. It helps draw stuff out, so you'll pee more, and it helps get stuff out of your body. But it's simple food, and if you want something sweet, eat some fruit. I mean, you got to watch out how much fruit you eat, because yes, it is sugar. But instead of eating candy, instead of eating chocolate, eat some sort of, blueberries, strawberries, pineapples, watermelon, something. Get that sweet tooth that way, instead of, going raiding your kids' Halloween candy or something like that. No parent tax. All right, don't get the candy from your parents, or from your kids, I mean. But and hey, I have ate candy in this weight loss journey. Yep, I have. I haven't been perfect. I have had cheat meals. I have ate past my 6 o'clock deadline. Sometimes it's with work. Sometimes it's whenever I get home, and I have to go to the grocery store to go get my food for the next week. And why do I go to the grocery store? Because if I don't go then, it'll be harder the next day. So I just go ahead and do it. And sometimes I'll just go ahead, get the food, start my prep, have my food done, and that makes it easier for the next week. And maybe you love eating out. Well, don't eat out as much. That'll help you on both things I've been talking about today. It'll help you in your pocketbook. You'll have more money if you don't eat out as much. I mean, just think. You could just go to a fast food place, $10 easy. But imagine, 7 days you don't go to the fast food place. That's at the very least $70 that you have more in your account, So, or, in 365 days, so that'd be $3,650 more you'd have each year if you didn't go to fast food for a day, on the day, every day, with that one trip, So instead, fix your food before. Even if you've got a regular 9-to-5 job, you're at an office or whatever it is, and you're not a over-the-road truck driver like me, you can take your lunch, and you can take your lunch even if you have business lunches. Hey, let the people know what you're doing. Say, yeah, I'm doing this for my family. I'm doing it for me as well. I'm trying to lose a few pounds. I'm trying to get a little healthier for them. And hey, that client of yours might really appreciate that. Like, okay, they're here for the long haul, right? But I don't know what kind of job you got, but it's simple math. You could fix a really, really good meal for roughly $3 or $4 a meal. I like the foods I talked about before. I've had salmon, so I can have really, really nice salmon or really nice steak, and my proportions, I'll just cut it up, and spread it off. So yeah, that salmon might cost $20 or something whenever I buy it, But that's like 5 or 6 meals in that $20 for my protein. And then veggies don't cost that much. You can get a big, huge bag of green beans for like $4 or $5 at the store. Maybe a little bit more where you live, or get you some broccoli and, add it with it. I mean, it doesn't cost that much to eat healthy. And what it costs more is if when you go to the veggies or whatever and you get stuff that's prepped for you, that's what costs more. Get the big bundles, the big bunches of stuff, and prep your own food. I mean, it takes 5 or 10 minutes of your time to prep it, for the week. If you're, and then, yes, if you're cooking stuff in the oven, it'll take longer than that. But it does, it's cooking. What are you going to do? You get the food, you season your food, you put it in the oven for it to cook. That doesn't take that long. And you have containers. You can do it either way. You can have it in big containers and put all your protein in that big container, and then section it out. Take a little bit at a time and put it in smaller containers throughout the week. If you don't have much space, like me, I'm in a truck. I have this small refrigerator, so I have to put it in bigger containers, and then put smaller containers each day. You might have a big fridge, at your house, like everybody's got a big fridge at their house, and you might be able to have room to put all your meals in there, and so you could do that. Get you a lunch box or a lunch bag or whatever you want to call it, where you could take it with you to work, and put 2 or 3 meals in there, depending on, I don't know what your job is, but if you're a regular job, you might have 2 breaks and then lunch. So maybe you could get 3 meals in an 8-hour period, and maybe that's something you need to do. The smaller meals, as long as you have protein in it, it'll fill you up, and then maybe have 1 meal whenever you're at the house, and you won't have these midnight cravings because you've ate more throughout the day. And just keep the portions smaller, and you'll be fine. It took me a little bit to get my weight down. It's been 24 weeks now, but I didn't put it on overnight, and I've got a ways to go. I don't know. There's a few people that's been talking to me, and they're on their weight loss journey. Some of them's lost 20, 30 pounds as well. And if you're a woman, your weight loss is completely different than a guy. You gotta think of it. Guys, if we just start drinking water, we'll lose 10 pounds in a week. It's just that simple. Our bodies are a little bit different. Women, a lot of them starve themselves. A lot of them don't drink enough water. And maybe you're one of them that's like that. You do need to eat more often. I know it sounds crazy. Eat more often to lose weight. It's worked forever. It's worked for a long time. But every 2-3 hours, depending on how you're setting it up, because you'll have to do some intermittent fasting, and I've talked about that before, which basically, you're going to sleep, so that'll be 7 or 8 hours of fasting right there, and depending on how long it was before you went to bed was the last time you ate to when you woke up. So if you can at least get 12 hours where you're fasting, that's a good start. And then maybe get it up to 16 hours, and then have that 8-hour window where you're eating. And in the morning time or when you wake up, depending on if you're on shift work, you might wake up at 2 in the afternoon. Maybe then you wake up from your fast, go for a walk or something like that before you do eat, and that'll help burn some fat off of you as well. Just do little things. Drink water. Get up, drink, instead of drinking soft drinks so much, drink, 16 ounces or so of water before you even eat. And there's a big difference, because a lot of times you could just be bored. I mean, how many times you go to the fridge, you open up the door, you know what's in there, but you gotta say, oh, what's in there? Is there anything in there? Is there anything in there? And you're just bored, and you just want something. You're not really even hungry, but usually if you just drink you some water, you'll be fine. And it's just getting to that point where you know what's going on, and you trying to think, oh, wait a minute, it's 9 o'clock, I don't need to eat, it's too late, I'm almost going to bed, I don't need to eat this close before I go to bed. So you'll catch yourself, and hey, you might mess up a time or two. Don't be so down on yourself. Everybody makes mistakes. Just say, okay, the next day I'll be all right. I'll do better. And it takes a while, but it does take discipline. You have to, let me see I know this is corny, but does, like they'll say, like, does that cake taste as good as what you would look if you lose the weight? Now, you might not look like you was when you were in 20. Heck, you might look better now than when you was in your 20s. I don't know, but that's one of my goals. To not look so bad at the beach when I take my shirt off. Small goal, right? Not to be embarrassed to take my shirt off, but small steps. It'll be a while before I have any I don't think I'll have a six-pack, but maybe I could actually see my stomach or somewhere along the line. I mean, I definitely can feel it, and it's just I gotta keep burning that fat off. Got to keep eating right. And like I said, even if it's a half a pound a week, it's going in the right direction. And sometimes that'll happen. That happens to everybody. Your body will get used to anything you do. That's the reason you have to switch things up. I do hope I'm going to get more and more weight off, but I know it gets frustrating. Oh man, I only lost a half a pound. But hey, I lost a half a pound. It took 3 weeks to get down a pound and a half, but, and a lot of times you will lose a lot of your weight in the start of your journey. You might lose 10 or 20 pounds in 2 or 3 weeks, and then it gets harder. Just don't give up. Just keep at it and keep going. And some weeks you might have to exercise more, and some weeks you might have to exercise just a little less. Just change your intensity up and down, but you have to rest. I know you got a million things going on in your life, but you have to rest. You need to get enough sleep. If you don't get enough sleep, your week won't be good. If you get too much sleep, your week's not going to be good. You got to have a happy medium, 7 to 9 hours, somewhere in that. And that might mean that if possible, like on the weekend, maybe you take a nap. I mean, take a nap on the weekend if you need it. Sometimes your body has to catch up to the grind that you're going through the week, because of the stress or whatever going on in your life, and need a little bit more rest. You'll heal faster. You'll be able to do more at the gym when you do go, when you get better rest, and you'll have better results when you have more rest. Well, that's it for this week, Body Transformation by Lee. Hopefully I'll have a bigger weight loss next week, right? We're always looking to get better, but hey, like I said, I'm in the right way. I'm going in the right direction, and I hope you are too. Cheer me on, I cheer you on. We're each other's biggest fans, right? I know you can do it. Heck, I'm doing it, right? So if I can do it, anybody can do it. Till next time, this has been Body Transformation by Lee. Have a great day.